Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone, and the Miami Heat might actually be really good this season. It's not a team that I believed in. I was wrong about them. I thought with no Tyler Herro to start the season and in this weird transition phase, they were going to really struggle, but instead, they're towards the top of the Eastern Conference. They're red hot, no heroes so far. Bam's missed a chunk of the season, and they're playing some of the most fun to watch and unorthodox basketball out of anybody in the sport, and it's yielding really good results. Today, they knocked off the Sixers to go ahead and move to 11-6 on the season, and they were 3-3 at one point, so they're 8-3 in their last 11 games, and it was typical Heat style. They play at a breakneck pace, by far the fastest team in the NBA, which has not been typically the Erik Spoelstra style. Credit to Spo, who has completely reshaped, along with the rest of his coaching staff, how this team operates, how they play. They're running up and down the court and setting basically no screens. Like, they set about half as many screens as everybody else in the NBA, as like the next lowest team in the league. They basically just dribble the ball up, continue to play in like this wheel format where they just keep filling space, going in a circle around the court. They are basically just trying to get to the middle, get below the free throw line, and either kick it out to a shooter, or they've got a number of guys who are really capable finishers and passers and playmakers to go ahead and set somebody else up on another cut. They're cutting at perfect timing to open up space for somebody to then do a dribble drive or to create a new three. Like, it is this so fun to watch, like living organism type motion offense. It's like the modern 7 seconds or less here, but now it's Davion Mitchell instead of Steve Nash, and it's Bam Adebayo instead of Amari Stoudemire, and I'm having so much fun watching this squad. If you're not watching Heat basketball, you are really missing out, and of course it doesn't matter if you're fun if you're not good, but they are really good because this offense puts up the most points in the league, while simultaneously they're a top 5 defense. I'm pretty sure they're number 4 after their game against Philly. Bam Adebayo has done a great job anchoring down low. He's kind of having the jump season I thought he would have last year, where he's putting up 18 and 13 in this game, 7 of 14 shooting. He's shooting more threes. He's hitting them at one of the highest rates of his career. He's still being an elite defensive anchor. If the season ended today, Bam Adebayo, assuming he plays enough games, would be on one of my all-defensive teams for sure. Davion Mitchell has really found a spot here. It felt like when he got to Miami, he was the perfect Heat player. He's a hard-nosed defensive guard that's really upped his game with the playmaking tonight. He had 8 and 12, nearly a triple-double. Kel'el Ware has really started to find himself as another great defensive option for them, and he's been putting up double-doubles left and right as of like 2016 in this game. You've got Norman Powell, who last season had a career year, and it's like, okay, but is this sustainable? Is Norman Powell really taking like an all-star level leap in his 30s? The answer is yes, because he went from last year having a career season to leveling it up again, where he is playing the clear best basketball of his career, and he's shooting like 46% from 3 for over 25 points per game. Like, we're talking all-stars. He is a lock in the Eastern Conference right now, and there are a lot of first-time all-stars we're going to see. Norman Powell has to be one of them. He's been one of the clear best players in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference specifically, so far this season, and he's a big reason why this works, because they've got someone in him who they can look to as the primary option without Tyler Herro to get downhill, to knock down those three-point shots that people create off those dribble drives, to be really smart and really focused moving in this motion offense the way you need to be. You've got to be locked in for this thing to work, and Norman Powell has been the definition of that. It feels like he's almost taken the trade personally, where the Clippers were like, yeah, thank you for the career season, but we're going to go ahead and deal you away, and now he's just taking it to a whole new level. He's been one of my favorite stories in the entire NBA over the past couple of years. Another one of my favorite stories, Jaime Jaquez, who had a huge sophomore slump last year. He really struggled, and it was like, okay, as an older player coming into the draft, was he kind of just a flash in the pan in his rookie season? The answer is no, because he's the favorite for 6th man of the year right now, at least in my opinion. Had 22, 2, and 7 in this game, 10 of 12 shooting. He's like one of the best wing post players in the sport. I feel like he never misses a turnaround, a floater. He's able to consistently get downhill. He's really physical, got great bounce, so he knocks guys off their spot and finishes. He's another player that the system really relies on. They need Jaime Jaquez, and he's been delivering to the tune of 16.7 points a night, 6.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, while playing some really solid defense to go with it. He's been phenomenal. Sophomore slump is gone. The third-year leap is here from Jaime, and if he wins 6th man of the year, I'm not surprised at all. He's been fantastic as a playmaker, as a rebounder, as a scorer. He's done everything. And then guys like Simone Fontecchio is a shooter on the outside. Kashad Johnson, Drew Smith, so many guys are playing really well in this system. Pelle Larsson has been really solid for them. Had 6, 7, and 8 tonight. It was not supposed to be a 6-7 thing, but it just happened that way. Shot 2 of 13, but it's typically been better for him. on most nights. Andrew Wiggins was out, but he's been really good this season as one of those other defensive connective pieces and giving them 16 and a half, 5 and 3 with over a steal per night. He's doing role player, championship level role player Wiggins stuff that we saw back in Golden State. Jovic is currently injured, but he's given them some really good moments. Like, this is just a team that fires on all cylinders. I mean, it is kind of the typical Heat format where it's like, okay, they can just throw bodies at you left and right. It doesn't matter if they're drafted or not, what their previous perception was in the league. They get to Miami and they're going to take it to the next level. That's kind of always been the Spo thing, but simultaneously, it's just now in such a weird, different way, and it's so cool. I love the way the Heat have reinvented themselves, and again, this is all without Tyler Herro, who had the best season of his career last year and was a first-time All-Star, and when he comes back, if he continues to elevate and work well in this system, this Eastern Conference feels very open. There are really good teams. Like the Pistons have been unbelievable this season, and I still think the Cavs and the Knicks, as they continue to get healthy, are really, really good. We talk about like Orlando kind of figuring it out. Toronto has been really fun this season. Philly's had some big highs, and they've also got to get healthy. Like, there are good teams in this Eastern Conference. But when I'm thinking about Erik Spoelstra, what he's done before, and the way this team is playing, I think they're going to be really hard to guard. And if they can continue to be at this high level defensively, I think this is a team that could not only stay at the top of the Eastern Conference all season, especially when they get Herro back, but maybe they could make a run. Is there some insane circumstance where the Miami Heat are somehow, in the Eastern Conference Finals after they traded Jimmy Butler last season? I don't know. Maybe. The way they're playing right now, it doesn't feel impossible. It does also feel like there's a world where maybe the system flames out a little bit in the playoffs and they end up as a first-round exit, but even making the playoffs and putting together a pretty good series, I think would be a massive success for the first year of doing what they're doing right now, with the perception as low as it was on them. I think I put them outside of the play-in, which after I made my predictions video, I kind of felt bad about that. I'm like, maybe I was a little too harsh on the Heat. The answer was yes, I was absolutely too harsh on the Heat. What they've been doing so far has been extremely impressive. Right now, I mean, JB Bickerstaff probably has to be coach of the year with what the Pistons are doing, but if they slow down a little bit, Spo, it's ridiculous he hasn't won coach of the year. Spo should be in heavy consideration. He's probably my second favorite at this moment. He's been absolutely phenomenal. I've loved what I've seen from the Miami Heat. Bam, Ware, Wiggins, Norman Powell especially. Like, I can't believe Norman Powell is just this good now. Like, to put in perspective, at the moment, he has a true shooting percentage of 65.8, which is 0.3 lower than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 0.4 less than Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's got a better true shooting percentage than James Harden, Steph Curry, Austin Reeves, Donovan Mitchell, Lauri Markkanen, Luka Doncic, Tyrese Maxey, Wemby, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Jalen Brunson, while averaging over 25 points per game. That's insane. That is like so crazy that we've reached this point with Norman Powell, and I'm really happy to see him, thrive and continuing to step up after the Clippers dealt him away. They're like, we'll be fine with Bradley Beal and John Collins. He's like, no, you needed me. You're seeing the way things are going right now for you and how well I'm hooping and how good Miami's doing. You needed me. And the answer was, yeah, they probably did. So it's been great to see. But yeah, I've really enjoyed Heat basketball. Shout out to my guy, Jonah, who stopped me in the middle of a crosswalk in New York City, asked if I was Cone, and then said, hey, you got to make a Heat video. Yes, I did. I was just waiting for them to grab one more win. They went ahead and did so. Here's your Heat video, my guy. And hey, they keep playing like this, we might get a few more Heat videos. So shout out to Miami. Have absolutely loved what I've been seeing from them. And I mean, maybe even part of it is just lifting the dark cloud of the Jimmy Butler stuff, which was really hanging over them last season. Let me know what you think about them down below in the comments. Let's get into some of the other games, although I'll be recording that later, so the lighting is going to change, so don't be stunned when you see that happen. But yeah, let's go and talk about some of the other games. It's later. Let's talk about the rest of the games. Probably the best game of the night was Hornets versus Hawks. This came all the way down to the wire, and it ends up in the Kel'el Alexander making a huge defensive play against Knipple. The guys that were kind of the story of the game outside of Jalen Johnson, who finished with 28, 8, and 11, all-star lock. I said it once, I said it a million times, I'll say it again. But Nickeil, 23, 5, and 4, and he makes, again, the huge defensive play and is now averaging almost 20 a night for the Hawks. He was an unbelievable signing, and I felt like here in Atlanta, he could do a lot more than he showed in Minnesota. That's why I picked him to be 6th man of the year, but ultimately he's starting more games right now because of injury, so that'll probably take him out of the running, but he is playing the way that I was expecting him to. And for the Hornets, I mean, it was mostly Knipple, who is unbelievable. 28 points, 7 of 11 from 3. He's so poised. He's so much more than a connective piece. He is real star, all-star, maybe even higher upside. I saw someone, try to come up with a comparison. He's like, is he almost like a light Jokic guard type of player? And I'm not saying he's like that because Jokic is one of the best ever, but kind of a similar type of play style at the guard position. I don't know. It's weird, but I'm super high on Knipple. He is the rookie of the year so far. Then we had the Lakers holding on against the Jazz 108-106. They almost go ahead and blow this one, but they managed to not. 7 17, 6 and 8 from Braun, 22, 10 and 4 from Austin Reeves, 33, 11 and 8 from Luka Doncic. Just the big three doing big three stuff. And for the Jazz, just continuing to see good progression from Keontae George, some pretty good stuff from Lauri Markkanen, who had 20 with 7 boards. Those two guys feel like the future of this team, unless they want to go ahead and trade Lauri, and the value is probably exponentially high at this moment. The asking price is definitely way higher than anybody's willing to give up. The Suns beat the Spurs 111 to 102. They just continue to rack up wins. Dillon Brooks, I mean, second option Dillon Brooks, he goes out there tonight and drops 25 points. He's now averaging right around 20 on the season. It's not the most efficient, it's kind of around league average, but for Dillon Brooks to make that progression is kind of ridiculous. Devin Booker at 24, you got 15 and 10 boards from Jordan Goodwin, who started in this one. Mark Williams had 14-11 double-double. The Suns are just kind of good, and a video about them is definitely overdue. And then every other game was kind of a blowout, like the Celtics only won by 9, 138 to 129, but it was just a last-ditch comeback effort from the Jazz, who got, or not the Jazz, but the Magic, who got over 20 points from Jet Howard in the fourth quarter alone. Good to see that from him, but ultimately the Celtics hold on and win with 35 from Jaylen Brown, 23 from Simons on 8 of 11 shooting, 14 from Sam Hauser, 19 from Peyton Pritchard. One of the better, more complete offensive performances from the Celtics. I mean, they put up 138 points, so like kind of duh. The Cavaliers knock off the Clippers 120 to 105. It was a big game from Zoo, who's been disappointing for me on the season, 33 and 18. Kawhi did play in this game. He went to the locker room, so you know, we'll see if something ended up flaring up and it keeps him out for more games. He did end up coming back into the game though, so it's not like, you know, it's a guarantee that, oh, now Kawhi Leonard is going to go ahead and miss some time. Harden had 19 with 6 assists. It just didn't matter. Cleveland looked vastly better. Huge game from Donovan Mitchell, 37, who's trying to make an All-NBA first team push this season. Mobley had a really efficient 18 and 10. Garland played in this one. He was pretty solid. Again, they look like the Cavaliers some nights, sometimes they don't, but these are the kind of games that continue to convince me they can win the East. The Raptors beat the Nets 119 to 109. I hate what the Nets are doing with their rookies. Jaeger Demon plays 28 minutes. He was not very good, but I feel like just any game he should be playing around 30 minutes. Same thing with Drake Powell. Like, you spend a bunch of these first round picks and it feels like there's no reason you shouldn't be playing Traore and Ben Serif and Danny Wolf. Like, all these rookies should just be playing a million minutes a game to see what you have in them, as opposed to playing like Tyrese Martin as much as they are, who was good in this game, 26. Like, he earned the playing time. I get it, 5 threes, but ultimately, like, is he going to be part of the future? I just don't think so. But MPJ continues to be awesome, 25, 5 and 6, or 25, 6 and 4 rather. If they want to deal him, like, this is a great time to go ahead and do so. His value is definitely up. And then for the Raptors, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players in double digits, which is kind of what they do. And the Raptors, was this like their 9th win in a row, something like that? They've just, they haven't lost in a minute, feels like. And then I think the last game, my Thunder knocked out the Blazers in a big way, 122 to 95. A big get back game after the Blazers gave them their only loss of the season, moving to 17 and 1. Jay has 37, 5, 7 and 2 on 13 of 18 shooting. He's now just like literally one made free throw away from 50, 40, 90, averaging over 32 points with less than 2 turnovers per game. We're witnessing one of the best seasons by anybody ever, one of the most efficient seasons in terms of taking care of the ball and just making sure the Thunder score every possession. Had some unbelievable passes in this game too. Perfect shooting, 8 of 8 for 20 points for AJ Mitchell. And on the Blazers side, they were missing some guys. It was kind of a rough night for most everybody, but 21 from Jeremy Grant, that was kind of the only guy who really performed at a decent level in this game. And yeah, those are all the games from tonight. Appreciate you watching. Leave, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on the Miami Heat. Do you believe that they have a chance to be a dark horse, that they're going to come back down to earth a little bit? Do you think this weird unorthodox offense works in, you know, a playoff setting, or is it going to fall off a little bit? Do you trust Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo, Norman Powell to be like this big three going into the playoffs? I don't know. I've got a million questions about the Heat because, again, I just wasn't expecting this, but it's been a lot of fun, so I'm happy to see it. But again, for the moment, I appreciate you watching. Do all the stuff I mentioned earlier. I'll see y'all later. Everyone, safe back.